Sorry, that's just anti-trans.
This is called First Amender. This person is like arguing pro-trans or something. But I don't know, this person. I'll see what's going on. I might not watch much of this.
Well, like
again, I'm bringing up the very simple example.
Why is it every time I click on like a debate, everyone sounds exactly, there's always like exactly the same clip. It's like, no, I'm trying to say this thing. It's like, Jesus fuck. Is that going to be my life one day?
Of the Thanksgiving dinner, you're sitting down and you proclaim that you're a Christian.
AGP vibes. I don't know if I agree actually. I think it was too low effort to be AGP, and that seems to be by design. So I'm not saying low effort in a bad way. Some people look low effort. They make it work. It's fine. You know, I've got to explain everything I say, otherwise people will think I'm being mean.
Literally nobody's going to care. But if you come out and you say that there's trans people, I guarantee you're going to get some people hating on you. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I think AGPs, I wouldn't usually call them like low effort. I think they probably put quite a lot of effort in. MDD James Subway tattoo thing. I don't know anything about that.
What's up?
How you doing, Boss Clips?
Yeah, I got a problem with 103. It's safer to leave a kid with a trans babysitter than a Catholic priest.
Oh yeah, big time. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's safer to leave a kid with a trans babysitter than a Catholic priest. Like, that's just posturing. That's not even an argument. That's just talking shit.
Yeah, so the reason I think that's...
Oh, modern day debate. James Subway. I don't know what the James Subway tattoo thing is. I don't actually know who this person is. Challenge your logic here, Discord. Maybe I should try that. I need to learn how to network, to be fair. Jesus.
Crazy is you put one above the other whenever I feel like they're just equal. Like, it's not that they're necessarily...
Thanks for coming along, Jen. I'll see you again.
Bad, good, whatever. They're just people in general. And you're categorizing them.
Oh, the ending profile pic. Oh, yeah, they probably made more effort because these people like flick through like identities like fucking, I don't know. They seem to change an awful lot. He gets free Subway food because it's a massive Subway back tattoo. What the fuck? That's so weird. The bar for trans people is Catholic priest. Yeah, I don't know. People say that kind of thing because they're posturing. It is a low bar, yeah. We have a low bar. I think it's pretty obvious that plenty of trans people cannot be trusted around kids.
By trans and Catholic priests, and that's kind of the issue.
Would you say a Catholic priest is typically male?
Yes.
Okay, and would you say a trans babysitter was born a male?
Is a trans babysitter born male? It depends what kind of trans they are. What?
What? No, you can't say that.
Why not?
Well, because they're trans, right?
Well, I mean, it is fair to say that most people who are employed in that tend to be female. And so it's quite likely that if there is a trans babysitter, that they would be a trans female and so would be born a male.
What? I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't know. I mean, this is arguing from a side.
Like, what is this question? Like, well, aren't they more likely to be trans feminine? Aren't they more likely to be a trans woman? I don't know, are they? They're still like, I don't know, they're still more or less male on the inside, but you know, sure.
Of equality, right? Like,
well, I'm operating some generalities, right? I'm operating these basic generalities. You did that with the priest, right? I'm aware that there are female priests.
No, I didn't do that. You did that. I never said there were.
I can't tell if what he's trying to do is be like, well, I don't know, because it's like, it's such a confusing question. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, it's actually broken my brain. A trans person is more likely to have been born male because they're a babysitter, and a babysitter is more likely to be female. Couldn't it still be that trans men are the ones more likely to be babysitters? Because you don't completely change literally everything about yourself? He's trying to get someone to accept a completely bizarre premise. I don't know what this is supposed to be for.
Was female priests. I just said that I just agreed to the premise that most of them are men.
Yeah,
but I never
and so,
disagreed
like,
that all of them are men.
So if there's like going to be a trans babysitter,
Here's the thing. I would not want to be still stuck on a point like this, like 2 minutes in. I would not want to be endlessly repeating this dumb, like, hypothetical, whatever it is. Like, if he doesn't get it, use a better example, or like change the thing a bit to make your point in a different way that he does understand. You know what I mean? Oh, they've got like shorts where it's all like, transphobe gets dunked with a simple question from false equivocation. I don't know. This is some cis ally poser from what I can tell. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll hear some stuff that'll blow me out of the water and I'll be like, oh shit, guy's actually based. But it's not starting well. Let's be honest.
So you're just assuming. So you're on the assumption that if there is a trans babysitter, that they are what?
if there is a trans babysitter, they are likely trans female.
That's completely stupid. There is no basis for that whatsoever. And the basis he's shown doesn't exist because trans people are not the same as cis people in their new genders.
Okay.
For example, I don't know if it's true that maybe because of socialization, that's partly why men don't take those kind of jobs like babysitting as much. But like, why would trans women do that if they've still had all their experiences as a guy? Like, I can't make it work. I can't square this in any way, shape, or form.
And based off this statement, what?
Well, I'm saying, would you accept that? Like, is that an acceptable premise?
Why does he need to? What's the point in this? Are we trying to equalize it so they're both male, but the priest is still worse? Like, what's the point? Is this really that important?
To work off of?
I guess, sure.
All right, cool.
All comes down to evolution. I mean, hey, if that's the point you're making, then that would support that a trans man would be more likely because they're female, you know? Both these people have taken substances that are affecting their IQ. Really is no excuses. This is the kind of conversation you have when they're really high. Yeah. I don't know. The other person seems fine because they haven't really expressed anything yet other than a bit of bewilderment at this person's argument, which I don't know where he got this one from because it's not good.
So, would you say that the libido has would be a huge component of your sex drive?
Oh, so because he doesn't understand, we're just completely moving off that one. Okay, never mind. I suppose it's probably the best way. Is he trying to say, listen, I know I'm trying to predict things. That's fair enough. I might be wrong. I might be right. But like, maybe it's kind of removing testosterone, male with no testosterone safer than male with testosterone? Maybe something like that. Let's see.
What's libido?
The libido?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a part of your body that influences sex drive.
Okay. So, I mean, if that is the case, then sure.
Okay. And it is through testosterone that the libido is excited, right?
Not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
God, where's Sam? That's a fucking Sam take, that is. Jesus Christ. Like, the idea that the libido is, like, from the testosterone and, like, I guess women don't really have a sex drive. I don't know, that's a fucking Sam take. Hang on.
You right?
Also, I'm pretty sure I completely just predicted the fuck out of this guy's argument. But it's based on a really stupid premise. Is your penis important to your sex driving? I don't know, I heard him say libido is a body part, and I was just like, excuse me? Let me look for my libido real quick. Maybe they accidentally nipped that one off when they took my junk out. I don't know.
Not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's so fucking weird. Like, I get it. Listen, these are people. This is a YouTuber with like 228 subscribers. So not, you know, I don't know how experienced they are or whatever. I haven't really done like debates on this kind of scale. So I could be kind of roasting people who are kind of in the moment and a bit nervous and shit like that. It has to be high. It is possible. I mean, the way he's talking, but I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But at the same time, it's like, I can't with this. Like, it feels like maybe he's hung around with some trans people and heard some shit, and it's like, I can do this. Which means that he'll be trans in like 6 months. If true, of course.
You don't know? Is it fair? Okay, so we could. It is fair to say that it is through the having excess testosterone that causes the libido to be as active as it is. Now, that doesn't mean that women can't...
Active as it is in who? Who are we talking about?
...necessarily have an active sex drive. It's just, when it comes to men, it tends to be more intense.
Okay, finally, men have probably a higher sex drive. Maybe due to testosterone. Wow. First coherent thought, and it's 3 minutes and a half. Right.
That's not to say women can't like sex, right?
Okay.
But that is prevalent. We're aware that...
Okay, never mind. Sam, ignore it. It's not one of your takes.
That causes a person's sex drive. All right. So if that is the case, when I'm thinking about a trans female, one thing that a trans female is doing is that they are suppressing testosterone. Right?
Well, some of us, not all of us.
Suppress testosterone through hormone replacement therapy, and then they encourage estrogen, which further allows them to be more female, which means...
Yep. Estrogen allows me to be more female. That's how it works.
Means that their sex drive diminishes.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said. This is not a good argument. Like, you're talking about two men. Can we generalize men to that degree? How do you know the Catholic priest isn't like completely fucking celibate because he's ashamed of all the pedo shit in the Catholic Church? And the trans person is like, has no qualms. It depends on so many things. And we're like, well, let's pretend they're both male. One of them's got more testosterone. Like, people aren't equations, you know what I mean? You don't actually know what a hormone is going to do to you until you take it.
So Amender, there's a really big problem that I don't think that you're seeing here. We're talking about babysitting. We're not talking about somebody hanging out with a 20-year-old female. We're talking about babysitting. Mm-hmm. If a person, not specific to gender, was to do anything to a child, that is bad. That just makes that person
well,
bad.
I mean, assume both of these people are pedophiles, right? So really it comes down to...
What's worse, a cis pedophile or a trans female pedophile? What a great debate fucking argument. Oh my god, I'm losing it, man. I'm fucking losing it. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
To like a level of sex drive, right?
Well, I find
and so like if there is a sex drive, if it should it ever be there towards children for that person, if a person's sex drive is greatly diminished because of the hormone replacement therapy that they are taking, whereas the priest does not.
Which your mileage will vary on. Depends what kind you're having. Not all trans people even have HRT or can afford it. Are you being exclusionary by saying a trans person can exist whilst not having any HRT?
Not have that, then yeah, you kind of are safer with a trans babysitter than a Catholic.
I mean, listen, I guess logically it follows, but this isn't, like, people aren't like that, you know what I mean? It's just stupid, like, I mean, fuck, I'm trying to think of a good, like, you know... Is a man safer around this guy or Eileen Wernes? Well, one of them has more testosterone than the other. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, what are we even trying to talk about here? Technically, yeah, that's probably true in terms of logic and in terms of just boiling them down to people with testosterone. But, like, so what? Like, what's the point in this?
Catholic priest.
I'll accept portion of this just for the sake of argument. Sure. So are you saying that you shouldn't be left alone with children?
Owned. Nice. I don't know who this person calling is, but well done. That was good.
Well, you're a man, right? Should
Yeah.
you be left alone with children? I mean, your
I'm
sex drive's higher
perfectly
than
Yeah. That's a good one. Who's more of a danger to children, this person or me?
safe. I'm not going to do it.
I've changed my mind. Please don't answer that. These activists use the same apologetics as theists. Yeah, sometimes. And you know what's weird about that is that these people are usually also like rabid atheists.
Anything to any kids. So that's weird.
Oh, so do you see how that like do you get the thing there? It's like you're categorizing something
Yeah, it's a stupid argument. I think he's kind of demonstrated that. But it's a good job it took like 5 minutes almost for him to make the argument. That was well done.
based on male and female.
Well, I'm assuming both of these people could be physically attracted to children. Okay, fine. Then the question is, which one is more likely to do something about that, right?
I just don't know that I see the worth in a debate where it's like, what's worse, a trans pedophile or a cis pedophile? They're both pedophiles. I don't want either of them personally. Like, fuck that shit. Spiritual Marxism. I have to think about that more. I don't make much comment towards Marxism in general. Maybe, I don't know. I need to learn more about it, to be honest. I've known so many people that are like socialist and communist and stuff, and it's never been something I've wanted to be myself.
And if you have a higher sex drive, you have a higher probability of doing something about it.
So I don't think that this is like a hate on priests or hate.
What's the actual even premise of this debate? Like, what are we actually trying to establish here? Like, if we're talking about pedophiles, they're both terrible. I don't want either of them. Like, what's the actual point?
On trans debate, I feel like this is more of a like fuck men kind of debate. Because that sounds like the premise that I'm getting. It's more like,
You know,
well,
actually,
here's
it's
a guy.
like among trans people, it's actually like a giant problem that, like, when they are male and they transition to female, they're often very underwhelmed with the lack of sex drive that they have. They're just like, I wish I had my sex drive back.
Jesus Christ only knows what kind of trans people this person has been hanging out with. Like, I had the surgery and all that stuff. I have a reduced sex drive from what it was. I'm fine with it personally. I'm not a sexual person really anyway.
Unironically, like, I'm not even messing
I think the word debate is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Yeah.
with you.
But hold on. There's a weird correlation that you have with this take though. Why does sex drive equal doing things to children? Why is this a thing that you're correlating? Wouldn't that just
Well, it's just a flat thing, right? It's like more sex drive equals more nonce. I don't know. Like, God, this is preposterous.
make them an awful person? Not a Catholic priests are awful or trans babysitters are awful. Wouldn't this just be
Most true transsexuals are aversion towards sex. I don't know how true that is. For me, it's kind of complicated, I guess. Why I hate the AGP type so much. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of oversexed trans women out there, you know?
people in general? Why is it categorized? Why are you categorizing it in this extent to where you're saying Catholic priest, trans babysitter?
Well, yeah, because like one thing that gets commonly pushed, a narrative that I think is incredibly false and not based on facts, is they say you got to protect your kids from the transes, right?
Who's they? Is it a triple bracket situation? Is that what it is?
They want to push their transphobia.
Do I believe in Blanchardism? I think AGP exists. I don't think the typology is like it's extremely reductive. I don't know. I transitioned quite young, but I like women. I don't really fit the typology just for that. But AGP is definitely a thing. Like, I think people should be extremely careful about claiming certain kinds of fetishes don't exist when there's just so many of them. It's pretty inconceivable that something like that doesn't exist, you know?
Right. And the reality is that the trans person, you're likely safer, the child is safer with a trans person than they are with a Catholic priest. Yet we don't seem to bat an eye leaving kids with Catholic priests.
Who's even leaving their kids with Catholic priests? Who are you talking about right now?
So it sounds like instead of saying it's safer to leave a kid with a trans babysitter, it should.
This argument is literally, well, these people are worse. Great. Don't you agree with the ContraPoint's take on Blanchardism? I can't remember what the ContraPoint's take is on Blanchardism. I haven't watched that video on here. I watched it a long time ago. I think it exists. I just don't. I don't think the typology is very accurate.
Should be. It's just as safe.
You have to protect the kids from the trans is mostly about gender affirming care for minors. I don't think they understand what they are opposing. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Like, I'd be more worried about them. I'd be worried about them teaching kids about stuff that could give them ideas that they probably shouldn't really be thinking about yet.
To leave a kid with a trans babysitter.
No, I would argue it's safer. They're sex.
It's a normal female thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I don't remember what information she was using to base that on. The take is that normal female sexuality. I don't know if that's true or not. I think if AGP exists, it would have to be like a specific thing where it's like a male, dressing up and that's the thing. I think that does exist, as in like a male as a female, like specifically. Chainsaw priest or trans. Yeah, this guy is claiming to be an ally and he's not giving us a very good choice, Why does the trans have to be a pedophile? You're the one that called them a pedophile, and now you're being like, well, people are like always saying...
Drive is often diminished.
You can't make a logical argument for that, though.
I just did.
There's trans people that
did you not hear the logical argument?
Oh my god, this guy's actually... Like, first off, yes, I think he is high. Second off... I don't know, do any of these people, like, do this shit because they actually care about, like, ideas and stuff? Or are they just in it for, like, their ego? Because that's what it feels like. Well, the incel decides I'm not Elliot Rogering, I'm just gonna get a woman. They seem to get attention. Jesus Christ. It's not like a good Elliot Roger meme, but...
Drive is often diminished.
You can't make a logical argument for that, though.
I just did.
Which game even is this? I don't actually recognize. Wait, hang on. Oh, is that what you said? Chrono Trigger. Okay, that makes sense. Fair enough. I'm not familiar with this.
There's trans people that
did you not hear the logical argument?
Hold on. There's trans people that have killed children. There's
Sure.
Catholic priests that have killed children.
Sure. Wait, there's a trans person that killed children? Where's that?
All right. Here.
Audrey Hale. September 6th, 2024. You know this, dude. There is no excuse for not knowing that.
There's trans people. I've never heard of that case.
Doesn't know who Audrey Hale is. Nice.
Yeah, here. It's in the side chat.
All right, let's take a look here. Nashville school
There we go. Audrey Hale. There we go.
shooting. Transgender killer who murdered 3 kids made a manifesto. Okay, cool. All right.
What's annoying is he might... I don't know if Audrey was ever on T, but he might use this to be a oh, testosterone bad kind of thing. Oh, the testosterone must have awoken angry feelings and she went and murdered children. That kind of doesn't defend trans medical care very much.
Fair enough.
But now I'm not saying that trans people are bad and they hurt children, but I am saying that they may hurt children in the same way as people hurt people. Not in the categorization of, oh, be scared of trans people, be scared of Catholic priests. I think that
I don't like either of those stereotypes, right? Like, I'm not a fan of any of those stereotypes. I just think that we need to look at it, look at things in not a transphobic way. That's kind of like...
So the whole point was to not look at things in a transphobic way by talking about a trans pedophile. What? What is going on here? What am I watching? How do I stumble across this shit so often? Trans people are people. Trans women are human. Trans women are human. This is just 2 idiots fighting, isn't it? To be fair, I can't really say much for the other person. I'm mostly enjoying this guy's performance. Jesus Christ. I've never watched this before. This is like crazy.
The reason why I even bring that up to begin with. right? I'll be honest. I don't want to dig on like.
I might watch the ContraPoints video in a future stream. I'm not sure though. It depends. I watched a gender critical one. I was going to watch some of the cancelling one at some point as an illustration to who the real pick-me's are, but that's a whole other thing. That's for when I get irritated by people calling me pick-me again.
The Catholic priest. I'm sure there's lots of good Catholic priests that aren't going to do any harm to your kids.
As do I feel the same about trans, but to suggest that one is above another and
I do, because their sex drive isn't.
Well, hold on,
just
and
not
then
there.
to push it.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's a logical argument, but why would you then like make a generalization about actual people based on it when it's something like that, something that specific that it's like, it's not like a child is ever going to have to choose between which fucking rapist they want. That's fucking ghoulish. That's disgusting.
In regards to male and female is basically the comparison. Basically what you're saying
if they're taking hormone replacement therapy,
hold on.
Their libido would be quite diminished.
To be fair, Amender, you did push this to basically say it's safer to leave a kid with a woman than it is a man. That's basically the whole thing that you're arguing.
Is it safer to leave a kid with a woman than it is a man? Kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
I mean, do you believe in...
On average, maybe, I don't know. Facing anti-trans arguments. Where's the anti-trans argument? What is this?
Equality and equal opportunity.
I do believe in equality and equal opportunity.
So do you think that man should have just as much equal opportunity to do jobs that women have just as much as women have should have equal opportunity, et cetera, vice versa?
Yes.
So if you do believe in that, but you also believe...
Yeah, hang on, yeah. Like, how can he agree with complete equality, but then is saying that one of them is worse? Basically, maybe, yeah, a lot of women pedos are underreported. Possibly. I only really hear about the odd, like, weird school teacher that, like, starts screwing one of her students, but, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like, men do heavily outweigh women when it comes to that kind of... It's the same with, like, rape and stuff like that, which in the UK, I think you can't even technically rape as a woman.
That men are...
I'm talking legally, by the way, not in terms of our definition of it as being, like, enforced sex. Like, legally, a woman can't rape in this country.
More susceptible to hurt children. Why would you allow this stat? Like, why would you be for this?
Well, because everybody isn't susceptible to hurting children.
Well, yeah. So that's kind of my premise. Do you get what I mean on how this?
Yeah, but that doesn't remove the argument.
It doesn't. Hold on. It doesn't sound like you're arguing this.
I think he's just leading him around in circles. I don't think there's any point in this whatsoever.
In faith, it sounds like you're arguing with the bias.
What do you mean?
Arguing with the bias.
Yeah, he's like taking the piss. Like, what is the point in this? I'm gonna argue for trans people as the biggest moron ever.
Well, like
again,
thing that you're arguing.
Is it safer to leave a kid? In the chat from Rip and Tara is making me laugh. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm convinced that this guy's smoked at least some weed before doing this now.
You repeat it.
I said it sound. I forgot what I said.
Okay.
But yeah,
so,
I mean,
like again, like I feel like it. I feel like these my arguments have make perfect sense, right? It logically follows.
Your argument, what argument? What are we even talking about? We're talking about which pedo's worse, as if anyone fucking cares. Like, bring it back to something. Bring it back to something real. Like, Jesus.
And bringing up these individual cases doesn't necessarily remove the issue that I have here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it
Oh, you watch Queeman and Chad. I like both of those.
boils down to our categorization of people is what's harming in general.
To be honest, I can't tell, like, with his eyes and stuff. I honestly can't tell.
So would you say...
I don't know if I'm, like, slightly colorblind or something, but I literally... those could be anyone's eyes, like, of any color right now. I'm not high, by the way. I don't get high before I stream. Like, that would make this stream shit, you know? Yeah, Jesus. I think I can recognize, like... playing video games and reading chat whilst debating whilst high, that sounds like a terrible idea. Like, I don't know how he's able to keep track of anything, which is probably why this is going the way it is.
The categorization of people saying trans people are bad, don't let your children near them. That categorization is a bad, stereotype that we have in America.
Yeah, maybe to some extent. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of stereotypes.
Yeah, so I'm also not a big.
Isn't men being like more libidinous or whatever the word is? High sex drive, isn't that a bit of a stereotype? I mean, it's kind of true, but still.
Fan of stereotypes as well. So in regards to you also being a part of this by making a statement like this, regarding the Catholic priest, I feel like you're also doing the same thing that you're saying shouldn't happen.
No, because I didn't apply any stereotypes. I said you're going to be safer with a trans babysitter than you would a Catholic priest.
You didn't use a stereotype, but we're talking about leaving a child around a Catholic priest. This whole thing, this whole thing about Catholic priests and children, what is that? Is it a stereotype, maybe? I swear he's just like completely contradicted himself. Did I hear that wrong?
I said you're going to be safer with a no, because I didn't apply any stereotypes. I said you're going to be safer with you're going to be safe.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of like generalizations, but to a certain extent it's more how they come across. Maybe it's because I have an interest in not scaring people out of my Discord, which is linked and you should go check it out. I mean, he's probably right so long as we aren't selecting from trans people online, but normally... Well, maybe, but like, what is this point supposed to be?
Safer.
Trans people have less testosterone. Testosterone isn't the only driver of like sex drive, I don't think. And it's definitely not the only driver of people that do terrible things. Like, that's insane.
With a trans babysitter than you would a Catholic priest.
Yeah, I'm sure he said that he wasn't using a stereotype or applying a stereotype, but he is. Like, that's literally what he's doing, is it not? Am I losing my mind? Have I inhaled some of his fucking weed? Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is called I know, right? Well, speaking of smooth transitions, Exhibit A. I'm sorry, I don't know how much longer I'm doing this because I need to stop at some point anyway, but I don't know. This is just a torture session right now. Apologies.
Stereotype is the opposite of that.
So wouldn't the stereotype be that men are more harmful to children than women?
It can be, but that's not what that statement says.
But trans people also...
Oh, because he's not actually saying it in that way. Technically, the stereotype isn't being used. This is like lame as fuck. If you have to explain it to this degree, just use a different tactic. Just try it a different way. What's the scientific method for trans evidence? There probably isn't any. Novel testicle positions.
So can be harmful to children, just
it's
like
possible,
Catholic.
yes.
Putting one stereotype against it. I think maybe technically he's correct, but like, I don't know. He started with an argument about pedophilia. Like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to explain a whole bunch of shit to make it make sense or make it palatable. Just do something else. Why is it always with the rape arguments and the pedophilia arguments and all this shit? Like, do we know anything else? Like, I watch Alec Gunter and he fucking talks about rape the whole time. I watch Jez doing activism and she wants to talk to children about child rape. I watch this guy and he's talking about pedophilia. Everything doesn't have to be about rape. Fucking Vorsh. Even like Mr. Girl and like Destiny at points. It's always about rape.
But it's less likely than a Catholic priest.
Like, I'm sorry, does no one else remember the Destiny period where like every other fucking argument it was all like, well, like imagine you get raped. And it's like, just stop doing that. Like, Jesus Christ.
But that's a stereotype, Amender.
No,
But
it's
that's
not.
a stereotype.
Listen, sometimes people are going to get confused by your arguments because you're stupid, because they're stupid, sorry. Sometimes it's going to be because you're saying ridiculous, insane shit and trying to multitask, which is something maybe you're just not great at. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe this guy is secretly based. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm going to watch of this. Like, I'll watch some of it because it's like ridiculous and I like new content.
Yes, it is.
But
You're
is it not less likely?
I would say that I can't look at a Catholic priest and say.
And like, to want to die on a hill like this, like, even if you're technically right, why would you want to this to take up this whole fucking almost 13 minutes so far? Everyone thinks in stereotypes, useful for simplifying complex situations. Yes, but you need to do it responsibly. Otherwise, you end up just being wrong about lots of shit. Mr. Coyle and his toy girlfriend. Jesus.
Like, let's say you took one random transgender and one random Catholic priest and looked at them both and was like, yeah, based off the stereotypes that I have, the Catholic priest from other Catholic priests on what they have done, I feel that I would rather leave my child with the trans person. Yeah, that's a stereotype.
Okay. I guess if that's what you want to.
I guess you can't really apply what he's saying without using stereotypes. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. And that makes his argument kind of useless, in my opinion. I don't see the point in these useless, like, luxury arguments that, like, obviously the reason you think about this shit is because you have time to think about it. Not most people do. Destiny incest, I can't remember. I remember his argument with no bullshit about incest, because no bullshit is funny.
Call it, but I still don't think how my point is refuted by saying something is a stereotype or not a stereotype.
Well, I'm saying the categorization. I just feel I felt like, whoa, why did my computer turn off? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. I was saying that in regards to like the stereotype that you were putting on there, the categorization of what people do is the same thing that you're doing. So
I mean, stereotypes can be bad. It depends on what the stereotype is and who it's against. Some of them are probably not very well warranted. Some of them are probably very warranted, you know? I don't know. Stereotypes are fine, just don't rely on them. Like, it's very easy to come off ignorant or like you have opinions that maybe you don't. Or that you actually don't know much about something if you happen to drop a stereotype to the wrong person who actually knows about something, you know?
In regards to like people categorizing trans people and putting them all in the same boat. I feel like you're also doing this, and you're
No, I'm not.
In what way are you not?
Are we actually going to be hung up on this shit the whole time? What is this debate? It's barely even fucking... There's no anti-trans arguments here, but then anti-trans is meaningless and also a map dog whistle.
In what way are you not?
Well, because my statement holds as followed. It's the same statement. It's not changing. It's not refuting my statement. Right? I don't feel like I'm applying a stereotype by bringing up, but I mean, it is.
Do you know what this is? Does anyone know either who Tomfoolery or Stardust are? Because I swear they both do this like so much. This like, they have some dumb minuscule point and then they'll just autistically defend the fuck out of it. Sometimes to the point of getting really, really angry. I swear, this is what it reminds me of. I swear, like, either of those two creators, whenever they get in like a spat with anyone, it's like, oh my god, like, this isn't even a good point. Why are you like... Why are you milking this stone so fucking much? Just move on.
It's true that I have to operate on generalizations to make my argument. However, that's not the argument, right? I'm making the, I'm adding to why I think the way I think on that, right? I'm not saying that these stereotypes can be applied to every individual.
And what are you saying at this point? A trans pedophile is not as bad as a Catholic male priest pedophile. Okay, great, well done. I'm glad we've established which pedophiles are worse. Fuck me.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to disagree on that, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there is a stereotype being given both directions.
He doesn't even get the W. It's fucking 15 minutes in. And this is what we've been talking about. Oh my god. This is why... Fuck me. I know I'm not really like a debater and stuff. Like, it's something I'm interested in. Like, you know, ultimately I'm shit at marketing, and that's a whole thing. Not marketing, you know, networking, and that's something I got to work on. But like, I'm not actually that worried because of the kind of shit that people routinely come out with on all of these debate shows. They're all terrible. Like, I think anyone with half a brain could probably like demolish in any of these fucking circles personally. And maybe I won't because I'm not actually as smart as I think I am. I don't fucking know. But like, it seems like it's just insane people who have way too much time to think about shit that no one else thinks about. Either that or have met people that have given them a whole bunch of stupid fucking debate ideas, prompts, whatever, because trans people are usually too fucking pussy to stand up for themselves. So like, oh yes, this person, you use these stupid arguments for me, then I won't be called a fucking weird pedophile freak, you know?
Problem is what you hate, but since it works in your favor, I feel like you're for this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I just think that trans people ought to be protected because they are the attacked class. I don't see that Catholics are relatively attacked.
So it's just a virtue signal because you agree that with trans people that they're oppressed? Like, which trans people are you even talking to? Are you talking to, like, black streetwalkers in, like, dirty-ass fucking US towns? Or are you talking to privileged fucking white people like me? Because most trans people are fucking privileged white people like me. Would the priest generally be more interested in reading the Bible? Listen, I would rather a kid... I don't have kids and I'm not having them, but if I had a kid, I would rather a... Fuck, what am I trying to say? I'd rather a Catholic priest read the Bible to my kid than some trans person tried teaching them about trans shit. Like, that kind of shit, that would be for me only to fucking talk to them about, and in my own way. Like, anyone else contravening that, that's like, we're having problems, trust me.
You don't think Catholic priests are attacked?
No.
You don't think that, like, people burn down churches?
No. No, they not only are they not attacked, they receive tax exemption.
This is so dumb, and he's even laughing. He doesn't believe this shit.
See what I did there?
Oh my god, this is weird. They're not attacked, they get tax exemption. Well, trans people, you can't be mean, you can't fucking misgender them in some countries, otherwise you'll get sued. What is it, that German podcast? Like, they have to pay potentially 250,000 or 25,000 euros, one or the other, I can't remember. Like, or spend however many months or something in jail. It was like 6 months in jail or something. Like, it's insane. These insane, like, parallels we're drawing. The Catholic Church is less oppressed than trans people. What a weird fucking statement. What a weird answer to a question that nobody fucking asked.
No, hold on. You actually don't think that people burn down Christian churches? You've never heard of this happening?
Dude, Christians are the most protected class.
Wait, I mean, there's probably tons of Christian oppression around there because religions love to oppress each other. And Christians are one of the biggest religions. Oh my god.
In the United States.
You're not answering my
total
question.
Victim complex.
You're not.
Victim. Oh my god. Okay. Listen. We made 15 through this video, but this guy is unironically putting it on someone else versus trans people that they have a victim complex. You cannot be serious. The only reason this person would believe this shit is because they made friends with a bunch of trans people who have really stupid ideas in their head about the world. Because this is, like, preposterous. I want to hear a little bit more just to see if he, like, does anything to justify that. But I'm going to stop soon, don't worry.
You're not answering my question.
I mean, I'm sure there is an amount, but it's like you and I are you're not going to sit there and tell me one of the most protected classes. Like, the fact that they are...
I'm sure I could look up, like, history of Christian oppression, and it probably has a fair amount of shit in there. It probably wasn't good.
As represented as they are in politics is like a perfect example that, like, literally, like, they're crying about even though that they're way...
US brain, Catholic Church and trans people exist all over the world. Just so you know, don't think this guy does.
Overrepresented.
There's more people in America that hates Christians than there is that hates trans.
What?
I don't know how they're gonna like actually unironically argue about that, aren't they? I would never say something like that. Like, what do you have to show that? You know what I mean? And he's like soying out. Trans people are like point something % of the population. It might even be true for all I know.
Can you repeat that?
There is more people in America that hate Christians than there are people that hate trans. In America. Both of them in America.
Wait, did you say this guy is a bit dumb? I'm starting to agree with people now.
By the way. Trans. In America.
Yeah, the smug attitude. I don't know where the smug attitude comes from, but it's required if you want to either be trans or debate trans stuff, I think.
Both of them in America, by the way. Yeah, so I would say like
trans people are one of the most hated people.
Yeah, but you got to look at it population.
Yeah, what's he basing this on? This is stupid. Like, this is like, I used to work in Weatherspoon. This is like listening to the average fucking conversation there. Black, hey, how you doing, bedless? Black, yeah. Christian right, use historical Christian oppression the same way trans people use statistics about yeah. Which, by the way, it's always the white people using the statistics about, like, trans people of color that are the actual ones generally getting murdered. But hey.
Wise too. So,
all right, let me ask you this. No, bull BS. There's no way you think this. That is just empirically false.
Is it? By what measure? Like, you made a dumb point. I'll grant you that, but like, you're just being dumb in the opposite way.
Christians are absolutely protected in the United States.
There are trans people. Fuck me. What is wrong with you? There's like, I don't know. Listen, actually, I don't know that much about the US. In the UK, trans people are protected. So are Christians, but trans people are too.
In comparison to trans people. What do you mean? There's no law.
What do you mean? A bit of actual Jake there. I should watch actual Jake sometime. He's a fucking loser.
That bar you from practicing your religion in the United States. But do you know what does have laws barring their practicing of being themselves? Trans people.
This is a massive virtue signal. I can't be asked anymore. This is literally some guy spreading up his own ego. Maybe there's some trans woman that he's trying to get hot and heavy with. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. I don't care to find out because I don't know. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how to get hold of this person. Maybe I should watch a bit more and then ask him some questions. But I don't know. If this is what we think is needed, like more fucking soy freaks trying to fucking debate people about trans people because they think it'll make them virtuous or they think it'll get some trans sticker gawk in his fucking ass. Then, hey, you crack on with that. You know, you've got about as much 10 out of 10 Weatherspoons debate court in 4K. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I used to overhear so much shit, man. But the real question, though, we have to ask, what's more dangerous around children? Catholic priests or trans vegan activists? Holy shit.